In this video, I will show you how to monitor network devices like switches and firewalls with Zabbix. Have you tried turning it off and on again? If you don't have a Zabbix server up and running, you can watch my latest video where I installed Zabbix on a Ubuntu system. I will link it top right. But for now, we will connect some network equipment to this freshly installed Zabbix. So I will start with adding a switch with SNMP, and then later on I will add a pfSense firewall with an agent and then test the connectivity. I will do some traffic with iperf and also a graph at the end. Okay, let's start with the switch. Here we are in an Aruba AOS CX switch, so we will use this one to monitor the fresh installed factory reset. So I will log in with admin. Password is going to be blank. It will ask us for a new password and to confirm it. And we are now logged in. For this particular model, we need to do some configuration. Let's first show the running config so that you can see it's a factory reset switch, and this is all the config that is in here. If we do show interface brief, we can also see that all the interfaces are in routing mode, layer 3. So we're going to swap them over, and we are also going to put them in upstate. Now they are all down. We go into the configure terminal by hitting conf. Then we select the interfaces by going int 1/1/1 to 1/1/52 in this case. Now we have selected all the interfaces. We can do no routing and also no shutdown. And by that we will start the interfaces for this switch. I think in this particular model we only have 8 interfaces, this virtual switch. If we exit out, and now again we can do up arrow and do show running config, we can see that it says no shutdown on the interfaces and no routing. And if we do up arrow show interface brief, you can see that we have now 10 interfaces to work with. For now, we are just going to use the VLAN 1. So no extra VLANs to keep it simple, but we do need an IP address on that VLAN. So we're going to do interface VLAN 1. And here we will set an IP address. And in my case, I'm going to have everything on the same LAN. So I will use a private lab LAN. And the switch will be on .3. So we can type IP address, the IP address /24. We can exit out of the VLAN and IP configuration. Now we are going to set the SNMP server community. So we go SNMP -server community. And here it depends what you want to call your SNMP community. In many cases it's called public by default, but we can call it TSS, my channel name, why not? Exit out of this community, and then for this switch we need to start the server in the VRF default. So I will go SNMP VRF default. And don't forget to save your config file. So now it's saving the configuration. If we want to see the whole configuration, we can do show running config. And here we should see that we have some config in the end. Here we can see interface VLAN 1, there is our IP address, and here is the SNMP server on the default VRF, and we have a community up with the name TSS. So that's all that we need to do on the switch. I will go to the Ubuntu machine with the Zabbix. We are now on the Ubuntu machine with the Zabbix. We can control the connectivity to the switch by opening a terminal. And here we can first start to just make a ping to the IP address of the switch. So we can see that, all right, we have connectivity. Let's exit out of that one with Control-C. And we can also check if we have SNMP connectivity. So let's do netcat. It's a default tool in Ubuntu at least. -Z for scan mode, U for UDP, and then you type the IP address and the port. The port is 161 for UDP. Here we can see that it connected to the switch IP on UDP port 161 successfully. So that means we have a good start and we shouldn't have any problem to add this switch into the Zabbix. Alright, let's go to the Zabbix. We are in 7.0 and we are going to go to data collection, and I will make a new host group because I'm not too keen on the default ones for your network equipment. As we can see here, application, databases, Linux servers, there's not really anyone fitting enough for our network equipment. So I'm going to create a host group and I will call it network devices. I think that's a good name. And it's just to categorize them. It doesn't do too much. And now we will click on host to create our new host. The only host we have now is the Zabbix server itself. Here we will click top right, create host. We will fill in a name. So we are going to monitor the switch. So we can, for example, call it switch. Maybe it's switch 03 and Aruba. This is optional what you want to call it. Next we want to choose a template on what to actually monitor. So here we will press select. You can import custom templates that people have done. There isn't a Aruba template as standard in Zabbix. But if we scroll down, we can go to network generic. There's a generic one. So here we can see network generic and select that one. Host groups, we press select and we select the network devices groups that we just did. After that, we need to choose how to monitor this switch. And it isn't crystal clear, but here under interfaces, you need to press the add button. And in our case, we will go via SNMP. Put in the IP address of your device. We can see that the port is indeed 161. Here you will choose your SNMP version. I will stick to SNMP version v2. And for the community, we did ESS. That's all you need to fill in right now. Make sure it is enabled in the bottom and hit add. Now we can see under hosts that we have the switch, items, triggers, and when this turns green, everything should be up and running. So we will wait a bit and hopefully the availability is going green. Now, just some seconds later, we can actually see that the SNMP availability is green, so that's pretty cool. If we go to monitoring, hosts, latest data for the switch, we have a lot of data to work with here. So that is really cool. Next up, we will prepare the pfSense firewall, and we are going to use an agent mode for that because it has a package for a Zabbix agent. I will connect to my pfSense web GUI. So I have my pfSense on the same LAN, it's on .99. I will log in here. This is also a factory reset pfSense community edition, so it's a free one. And I have a video on how to install the pfSense community edition also. I can link it in the description of the video if you don't have it up and running. And when we are logged in here, we will actually go to System, Package Manager. By default, we are on Install Packages, but we are going to go to Available Packages. There should be a search box here, so we can just search for Zabbix. Hit up search, and here it is important to choose the right version. You can see there's agent for number 5, version 6, version 7, and make sure not to choose the proxy server version. We are going to choose, in this case, Zabbix agent 7. So I will just hit install here, hit confirm. Then we just have to wait a bit when it's installing. It didn't take very long. We can see success here in the bottom. And when we have that, we can go to services. And now here at the bottom, we will have Zabbix agent 7. So we just need to do some setup for this one. You will put enable on top here, and you should get the IP address for your Zabbix server. So in my case, for example, if you are on Ubuntu, you can do IPA pipe grep 24 is what I usually do. So here we can see my IP address for the Zabbix server is same LAN and .114. So you will fill in that on server and on server active. And then you will also fill in the host name of your Ubuntu server. If there is no need to change the default port, I wouldn't change it. This is the default one, 10,050. Rest you can keep on default, unencrypted, and just hit save. So the Zabbix agent should now be online on the pfSense, and it's time to add it into the Zabbix server. So we will once again go to data collection. We will press host, top right, create host, and for host name we can go with firewall. Maybe it's firewall 2, and it's pfSense. That will be the visible name. For templates, it's a bit important. We will hit select. It will not be a network device, so there's no need for you to scroll this list. So you will hit the X on this one. Then you will press select again. And it will take you up one step. Before we were in network devices, and the template for the pfSense FreeBSD is actually under operating systems. So you will press templates, operating systems, and then FreeBSD by Zabbix agent. Choose that one, click select, host group. I will select the host group that we did earlier called network devices. Select that one. And same goes here. It's a bit hard to see, but you will need to press add. And in this case, it's not SNMP, it's agent wise. So you will select agent. Put in the IP address of your firewall. If you change the port, you will of course change the port number here. A description if you want. Make sure it's enabled and hit add. So we will do the same here. We will wait for the availability to go green. Meanwhile, we can do some checks. So you can do the same here. We can ping, but let's ping the firewall instead. You can see that it's no problem to ping the firewall. We can also do a netget, but in this case it's going to be think it's going to be UDP, so we just need a scan. Going to be 99 and 10,050 for the port. And yeah, it succeeded. So it shouldn't take long until the Zabbix availability light goes green here. We can do a refresh. It's red, so that means something is wrong. Let's do some troubleshooting. And I can quite easily see that I put in the wrong IP. So no wonder it went wrong. I pressed 88 instead of 99, so we'll update this one. So now you get to see some mistakes also. It's good to see what's happening if something goes wrong. It's still red. Let's do a refresh. So let's wait a couple of seconds. Maybe I will fast forward. I will not change anything. Alright, just a minute later, the Zabbix availability got green towards the firewall. So now if we go to monitoring host, we can see that we have a lot of different data from the firewall. And if we click on the latest data, we can see what it pulls. And to use all this data, let's create a dashboard. So we go to dashboards, and if you want to do a new one, this basic one is a bit cluttered, so I will show you how to make a new one. You will go to the hamburger menu, top right, create new. I will put my name on it, TSS dashboard. You will just hit apply. And here we can see that we will click and drag to make a widget. I really like to see what's problematic and what has been problematic in the network. So what I usually do is I make one for the current problems. Here you can set the refresh interval and what you want to see. Different problems are classified as warnings, information, or disasters if a device goes offline, for example. But it's pretty good to begin with as it is. So I will just hit add. We can see that lately here it warns Zabbix server the Linux number of installed packages has been changed. So it actually warns if someone else is installing stuff on your server. I will make another window here. It's going to be problems again, but I will have swapped over to history. So maybe you come to work and something has happened during the night that might be of importance to you. So here we can see, it has been a lot of problems. So it can see that the Zabbix server has been restarted. Of course, I started it up before making this video. Let's also add a system information type of widget. That is always cool. So I will go system information. Let's add it. I will save a bit of space here because I'm going to show you how to track the bandwidth of the pfSense interfaces. To do that, we need to simulate some traffic. So I will also show you how to make an iperf stream, an iperf bandwidth stream with UDP. So we can have some nice graphs to look at. Let's start on the pfSense. We will go to System, Package Manager, Available Packages, and you will search for iperf, search, and install. Confirm. When you see success in the package installation video, you will go to Diagnostics. Here you will see iperf. And we will not make this a client. It's easier if we have it as a server. The port default 521 is cool. Output format bits, bytes, sure, we can have bytes. And interval 0 for no periodic reports. And then you will just hit run iperf. So this iperf server is now listening on the pfSense. You can go back to your dashboard, it doesn't matter, the iperf is still running. And now we need to install the client on the Zabbix server. And we will do this via Ubuntu. So first I will go sudo s to hit root. I will go apt update and then apt install iperf 3-y to accept. So that will update my repository. It will install the latest version of iperf. When this is done, we are going to start a stream towards the iperf server. And the actual command is iperf 3c for connect, and then the IP address to the iperf server, which is the firewall in this case, which is listening. To make a bandwidth stream, we need to use UDP, and that is argument U. Then we will have B to specify the bandwidth. Let's go with 250 megabits, why not? Then time and how many seconds? Let's go with 99. Let's see if it connects. It connects, so now we have a stream of 250 megabits towards the pfSense iperf server. We should now be able to see that data in a graph in the Zabbix dashboard. So I will show you how to make the graph. Let's go to the dashboard. We are in edit mode already. So you just drag like this. In the type, we will choose graph. And here for the data set, you will press select and then select again. We will choose network devices, host group, that was the one we did earlier. And here we should see, for example, the firewall. So select that one. Okay, we have specified which device we want to pull data from. Now we need to specify which data. So here on the right side, we will press select. And we can see there's a lot of different data to pull here. I'm not entirely sure which interface is being used now. Maybe incoming, outgoing, EM0. Probably. Let's start with that one. Then of course you can change the color of the graph if you would like some other cool color. Maybe you like blue, the width of the line, etc. And you can change how the graph looks, but for now I will just press add here. We can see that this interface probably wasn't it. I will swap over to the pfSense to see the actual interface. We can see that for the LAN one, it says EM1. So yeah, 50-50, Murphy's Law, it's always wrong. So let's swap that over to EM1 instead. To change the graph, you will hit the cogwheel here, edit. I will remove the EM0 interfaces. Hit select, scroll down. Let's see if we see the EM1 instead. So let's go incoming, outgoing for EM1. Select, apply. And here we can see we actually have some data for the exactly 250 megabit traffic that we are generating now right now. So let's press the save changes, and we have now made a graph for the incoming and outgoing data in our firewall. So this could be very good data to have for your maybe WAN connection on your firewall. It's a real world scenario. If we stop this one, let's do an up arrow and let's change the rate to 110, sure, why not? We should see that the graph should bump down to 110 megabits. Top right, you can also choose last hour. We can make it a bit more granular if we press, for example, the last 15 minutes. And if you hold the mouse over the graph, triple dots, we can also change the refresh interval. So let's put that on 30 seconds instead. And now the graph drops down to, it should be on 110 megabits. So there you have it. How to add SNMP monitoring and agent monitoring into the Zabbix. And also, a little bonus to install the iperf and then some graphs and other problems info into the Zabbix dashboard. Hope you guys liked it and learned something. See you later. Bye bye.